retainers are available starting today. I'm so excited. So look, I'll just give you a little sneak peek. So look, my husband got all fancy-fied on us. These are the medium ribbon retainers. And ribbon retainers help keep your ribbon, you know, spooled up. So they're not going to like unravel, especially when you're crafting. That's like the worst part of it. So we have them in all the colors. And remember, the ribbon retainers are $4 each. Or if you buy a set of 3, which you can get small, medium, and large. You can get 3 mediums. You can get 3 larges, whatever. But 3 of them will be $9. So you're getting a little discount on that. All right. So I have a bunch of colors over here. I want to show you how to load them, show you what to look for if the ribbon retainer doesn't fit your spool of ribbon. So all the details on those will be at the end of today's live, all right? Yeah, we can make the ribbon retainers any color you want that we offer. Everything's available, okay? And all that is on the blog post when you click the description box below this video. I will also have the link to the other blog post so you can see the can toppers, the block holders, the glue holders, the mini glue holders. This is the regular glue holder that holds the Stampin' Up! Multi-purpose and the extra large one. And then the mini glue, which is right here. The mini glue holder is right here. This one holds this one, the little tube. Put that in there because I use that today. So it fits in there really nice. So everything's available in all the colors, all right? All right, now let me show you these ribbon retainers. So awesome. I'm so proud of my husband. I can't say that enough because he was getting so mad, not really mad, but just frustrated because I think he even took it down to the 30 seconds, whatever that is. I mean, it's barely enough for me to learn the 16ths, but did you guys know there's a 30-second? 30 seconds of a measurement. And of course, everything with the 3D printer is in metric or I guess that's centimeters. So he's having to transfer everything over to that. And then still, yeah, it was a real, that's why it's taken a little bit for him to get that settled. All right, is everything good? All right, so let's just go through this. And please, if you guys have any questions, email me here. All right, so hopefully the video will explain a lot of it if you have a lot of questions about what they are and how to use them. But like Richard said, they sit up really, really cute. Now these are the cobalts. You have small, medium, and they're all with the initial of small, medium, and large. Let me see if I have a large. Here's a large and the cayenne. Oh, this one just came out. So they do clip into your ribbon, ribbon retainers clip into your spools of ribbon. But I will say, if you find yourself thinking, because remember I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, the ribbon retainers are by the spool width. So if you put one of these ribbon retainers, let me get a smaller one here. Let me get a medium. Let me get this medium one and I'll put it on the large. So if you get a medium and you put it on the large spool, you're automatically going to know it's too small because it's not going to click in. See, you didn't even hear it click in. Plus, when you look at it from the top, you can see this is bulging out, right? This is not a small ribbon retainer holder. You need the large. So then the large has an L. And then when you click this in, you're going to hear it snap in like that. Okay, and then again, you can set them up. And then also, let me show you what a floss retainer is. Now these I said I got on Amazon. What these are used for mainly, and I've talked about these many times on my YouTube lives and on my blog. These are floss threaders that people use when they have braces. And I think they're like Demtech or Dental Tech is the name of the company that sells them. But they're really like a nothing thing, but they're amazing for threading ribbon through stuff. And you guys know about my funny hands. So Richard can thread these in a second. And I'm just letting you know because I do have a lot of older ladies like I do that have arthritis. And these ribbon or not, sorry, ribbon, but the floss threaders will help you thread your ribbon retainers so much easier if you struggle like I do with my fingers with arthritis and stuff. So, and I'm sure a lot of crafters already have these, but these are found on Amazon, okay? So what you're gonna do, let's see here, this is a medium. So now what I found after all my ribbon, because Richard's been making hundreds of these, just to get the right size. So this is the in color, Pretty in Pink. This one is the new, what is this one? This is, hold on. This is the Petunia Pop ribbon. This is the new one with this in the Spooky Sweet. This is that glittery ribbon. This one looks like it might be a medium, but it's not. It's a small. And it goes by the ribbon spool, not the size of the ribbon. Remember that. So even though the ribbon looks like it might be a medium, it's not. It goes by the spool of the retainer, okay? Or the spool of the ribbon. All right, so let me find a medium here. Actually, let me just take one of these out of here. So let's do this, Pretty in Pink, is it? Strawberry Slush. This one's Pretty in Pink. Yeah, so this is the new, these are the last year's in colors. And then this is one of the new ones. So this one is a medium. And they're all like that. Let me just show you here. We got the Strawberry Slush, or not Strawberry Slush, but the Summer Splash. This is a medium. The Timid Tiger is a medium. And I'm talking about the spool. Remember, it's always about the spool. Because Stampin' Up! Puts sometimes really super thin ribbon on a large spool, but it does not go by the ribbon. All right, so let me show you how to thread these with the floss threader. So this is the medium. This is a cobalt. So you're going to take the loop and you're going to feed that through your little slit right here in the front. And then grab that, the loop and the end. And I'm just going to hold this with one hand because I'm going to feed my ribbon through the loop. And then I'm going to pull that through my ribbon retainer right there. And then when you put this onto your ribbon spool, it should click in. If it doesn't, then it's too small. And then if it's too big, it's going to be wobbly. It's going to just like flop around. And I'm wondering if I brought one over here so I could show you that. All right, so, yeah, I'll try this one here. Let's put the medium on a large and I'll show you what I mean. So this is a medium with the Strawberry Slush, right? So, and they just clip off. So let me put that one, the medium, on a large. I got a pink one over here. This one is a large. This ribbon is a large. This one is the white. What is this? White what? This is that ribbon that's got a frayed edge. This is a large spool. Okay? So I'm just showing you the difference in the sizes. When you put a medium spool on a large, it's not going to fit. Now, let me feed this through here. This one might be going through pretty easy because it's large for me. Hold on. Maybe not. Let me use my floss threader. And then you can reuse them too. So once you use all your ribbon, then take it off and put it on another spool, right? All right, so remember, this ribbon is a medium. This spool is a large, or this ribbon retainer is a large. So this is what it's going to look like when the ribbon retainer is too big for your ribbon. See how that just wobbles around here like that? It's too big. This is supposed to have a medium black or medium ribbon retainer on there. So the large is too big and the medium one is just right, right? I can't see your comments, you guys. I'm not being able to open up my comments again. But like I said, if you want to email me any questions, please feel free to reach out. These are going to be awesome. All right, so I'm just pulling this through the medium ribbon retainer. And then we're going to put this on my, see how that clicks in, and then it doesn't spin around. It's snug on there. So then, like what Richard was showing you earlier, let me just turn my ribbon here. So when your ribbon is flip-flopped, it's really easy just to turn it like that. Okay, so when you're, see, like my right hand, I'm right-handed, but I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm holding it with the letter here, and I'm turning the ribbon to ravel it up. And then I'm also going to hold it with the letter to pull it. So, and then like I said earlier, it just sits up on your desk like that. And we have all the colors. Here's magenta, hot pink. This is sky blue or turquoise. This is the cobalt. And this is cayenne. This is a really pretty blue. So again, the Timid Tiger is the medium. So very nice. So again, each retainer is $4. If you buy a set of 3, so you can get any sizes. You can get 3 larges or 3, because apparently I have a lot of medium. Unless you're like me, you might want to get all mediums. I don't know. But if you want to get a small, medium, and large, if you want all larges, all mediums, it's $9 for sets of 3. Okay, and it can be any colors. So if you want to mix up the colors, you can do that too. So mix it up. As long as it's a set of 3, you'll get them for $9. But if you want 1, it's $4. And then that's not including the shipping. And then it also does not include the ribbon, of course. Okay, so let me show you here. Maybe the large is a little bit easier to thread, just because it's a bigger ribbon. You know what I mean? So this is the, I think this ribbon is retired. This is that glistening ribbon, maybe not. So let's see here. I'm going to set this on my desk, and you're threading this through the slot. Hold on, let me cut this end here. And if you turn it a certain way, where the ribbon, see how the curve of the ribbon is? That would catch that slot a little bit easier. And now that I'm live, there we go. It grabs it. Okay? And then you can see when it clicks on, the large for the large spool will click into place, just like that. Okay? So let's ravel it up here. Turn your ribbon if it's twisted. Really easy to do there. Okay? That's it. So you can get them all the same color, all the same size if you want to too. Let me see, like this ribbon here, this is one of our newer ribbons. This is the petal pink, and it's braided. But look, the ribbon is kind of little. It's not like wide like this one. But look at the spool it's on. There's a few other ribbon spools that are like this. So it's got to go by the size of the spool for it to clip around and be on the ribbon spool to hold it snugly. Does that make sense, Clippy? Oh yeah, that's really what the floss threaders are good for too, is threading needles. But I put them in a clear envelope so I know where they're at. And then I also, on my desk, where my ink pads and my Stampin' Right markers are, I have one on my Stampin' Right marker that just hangs there, so whenever I need it. Could you put a few together like they would be in your ribbon holder? Yes. So like you're saying, like a color grouping, like that. So these are the cayenne. This is the medium and the large. Let me get a small one over here. Here's a small with the petunia pop. So that would be the way they sit in your holder like that, or in your drawer. I have mine above me in my office in a little wooden thing, and Richard and I both test them in there. They do fit in there. All right, so you can see that they sit up too on your desk. Now I remember like that thin gold and silver, I'm trying to remember what that ribbon was called, but whenever that would sit on my desk, it would totally unravel. So this is what this helps from doing. These are the turquoise. Oh, I have aqua here too. Aqua. So you can see the difference in the blues, right? We have aqua, turquoise. This is cayenne. And then we have the cobalt. So that's why when somebody says, give me blue, I'm like, what color blue would you like? We have 4 shades of blue. So cobalt, cayenne, aqua, and then the turquoise, which is the sky blue. So pretty. And then we have the magenta and the hot pink. Now this was one of the first ones that Richard made with the purple. He did not put the letters on these yet. So you can see what that looked like. This was the first one for the small. Very nice. But now he's putting the letters because I was saying, first of all, we want to know like what goes on what. And then when you guys are ordering them, I don't want to have to test every one. I need to identify what is small, medium, and large. Plus, it makes it nice for you guys, too. Can you order large? Yeah, you can order 3 larges if you want. 3 larges in the color that you want, or, you know, mix it up. So here's a large. So, yeah, you can order 3 larges for $9. Yep. Definitely. Linda, if you want to save on shipping, you can order them and then I'll have them at the retreat for you unless you don't want to wait. I understand. I think these are going to be good for when you're using the ribbon to set up on your desk. And so they won't roll off the table and unravel all the way down your room. Just saying. So, but this is the way they'll come to you. And, you know, I always mail the most inexpensive way, which is typically ground. And seriously, you guys, every package that I've sent out, except for a couple, because it was my mistake, they've been arriving really super fast. So, very quick shipping for the packages. Letters, on the other hand, is very slow. All right, let me go back here and see if anybody else has any questions before I let you guys go. 1/64th? Oh my gosh. I don't even think Richard knows that size, Marcia. And I think that there are different sizes of small because the ribbon is super small, but the spools, you know, like those combo packs of the ribbon, I mean, they work, but they're like a little bit more snugger, but you'll just notice that they're a little bit tighter. But I feel like those packaged in like, you know, 2 ribbons or 3 ribbons in a package, I feel like those are a little bit different of a size of a spool. So just to let you guys know that too. So yeah, you can see, and I got all these over here too. So all these ribbons are in my collection that I ran out of when Richard was making them all. And that's probably not even all of them either, because I have a lot of these too. So I have like a burlap, I have the other silver and the open weave one, like this one. So I do have a lot of these extra large, but like Richard said, to print those, they're really, really large. So we're not even doing those. Show how the ribbon keeper, okay, attach. Okay, so here's how they attach. You're just gonna peel them apart off of the ribbon and it snaps off. They just wrap around the spool. And then you're feeding your ribbon. Let me see if I can do this. I gotta set it on the table first. At the end. Floss threaders are great. Let me turn this over so it's going the right way, so it's looping into it. Hold on. There we go. Look, I did it. Richard does it even faster than I do. roll up your ribbon. I don't know if you guys know, like, the proper way to unroll toilet paper is up and over. I know that's a debate. But this is where the ribbon retainers are nice when it's up and over. Up and over, but it really doesn't matter. But they just click on in the circle of the center of the ribbon threader, or the ribbon spool. And then you just roll it up. I'm just going to turn my ribbon. Okay, that's it. Super cute. And every one is small, medium, and large. S, M, L. 3 for $9, yes, any size. You can do small, medium, large for $9. Yes. Or you can do 3 mediums or 3 large, whatever. Look at your ribbon and see what you have. So I will say the medium is all the in colors. Strawberry Slush, your Timid Tiger, Pretty in Pink are all medium. Your large are, like this one is the white. That's the large for me. This white here, that's the same one. I have a lot of medium. I just have a couple small. Here's a small with the petal pink ribbon. So I don't know, if you're like me, maybe get medium and go from there. Yeah. What was the price on the glue holder? Glue holder, this one is $5. The mini glue holder is $4. So $4 for the mini, and then this is the regular that holds the multi-purpose liquid glue in the regular and the large size of the glue. $5. So 4 and 5. The block holders are $20. Do you guys want me to show you those? Here, let me grab a couple of those. Those are amazing. These are the block holders, and these are the can toppers. We're still selling a lot of the can toppers. The can toppers fit your beers, your aluminum cans. Jessie just had one bought from her farm stand, and she put it on a skinny can, not a Red Bull. I'm going to actually take these to a party store and just go through the cans and see what they all fit. But they fit like your typical can of soda or pop and your typical can of beer. And what is nice is that they clip on the can, and then you have like an identifier. So if you're with a lot of people on a boat or at camping and you all drinking a certain drink, you'll know that this one is yours. Plus it keeps out the bugs. It was mainly a great idea because our son-in-law, Nick, is deathly allergic to bees. So he swallowed a bee last year and he had to go to the emergency room, and oh my goodness, that was a fiasco. But it keeps the bugs out, and it also identifies your drink. So these can toppers are $4, and we have them in all the colors. This is the army green and purple. This is a black. Beautiful. It holds your clear blocks. And also, let me get my clear box. I'll show you this. Clear blocks. And then also if you want one for your tools, like take your pick, your scissors, your bone folder, all that kind of stuff. So these blocks are the same size, but you can see they fit in here. So, but they would hold, you know, an assorted of the Stampin' Up! Clear blocks. And then I also, on mine, I also put my tweezers, my take your pick tool, my scissors and all that, just this along this side. And then I have like my my mono sand eraser here. That's what I put in mine at my desk. But you can just use them for blocks, or you can use them for tools. And then this one is your magenta, which is gorgeous. Magenta. So, and you can get like a whole set, like the glue holder, the block holder, and your ribbon retainers, all in the same color if you want. We also have white, which is very popular, so it matches the Stampin' Up! Stuff that we sell in the catalog with the ink pad holders and stuff. Okay guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, when you click that link below, if you wanted any of the 3D items from Richard, the link is down below this video, and it will be also on my blog. Just know when you email me what you want, I have to know the color and of course the item that you want, And then also your address, because the address is what I'm getting the shipping fees on. So it goes by your address. So I need your address, the item that you want, and the color. Okay, so those are the 3 things that I definitely need when you email me what you want, all right? So, but yeah, a lot of stuff is ready to go. So whenever you're ready, just let me know. Thank you, guys.